Hey folks, welcome to Monday the 15th of November 2021. This pre-US session brought to you in conjunction with New Squawk. Where are they? There. Here's the logo, New Squawk. Squawk service I've used for around 7 years. It's essential to use for breaking news um, in the markets as a trader. Do go and check them out. These guys are the best analysts you can get in the market, and it's important to have them really riding shotgun with you through the trading day and week, from my point of view. So, yeah, last week, bit of a mixed week, downside seen over these rising inflation prints. We started to pick up our socks a bit on equities in the US this morning and indeed on Friday after dipping on the lows. Really, I want to bring up the Nasdaq here to show you. Really, we had just a phenomenal pullback on Friday to be bought. We did cover this in the weekly roundup called the Closing Bell, which we do every Friday, 4 p.m. GMT live. And so, really quiet on the data front for today, and really looking forward to a bit more volatility and data coming tomorrow to drive these markets. So what we have today is really, let's see, Christine Lagarde is speaking in 6 minutes. I think the euro is looking pretty weak, I have to say, for the foreseeable future. But what else? We have the New York Empire State manufacturing data today at half one GMT. But yeah, tomorrow I think it's going to be a much better day. A lot of GBP data in the morning. The GDP. I think we're getting. Let's see. Hold on a sec. Now we're getting employment change, labor, unemployment rate, and so forth. So let's get over, have a look at these charts. There isn't really much to discuss, but let's have a look here on Friday. You saw we had this 16,000 handle on the Nasdaq. Really was a doozy. We'll just get this off our charts for now. Yeah, this really was a bit of a doozy of an area to be buying on the pullback there at half two off of the open, and trading up into what is now pretty much the APAC range, just holding. So lovely trade to be on there on Friday. You could easily make your week on that one. So yeah, I think we're going to head higher, 16,376. I don't really see a capitulation event on the horizon at the moment, but of course, with these things, you never do see them coming. So for me, I would be probably looking for a rebuy on the pivot here, retest on the trend, which you see it has been respected on the pullback. Of course, that's the trend from the all-time high, this little high that we had on the open on the Monday, the 8th of November. So last Monday. That's really the Nasdaq. What else? Markets are just so incredibly big into these highs that I think, overall, we should have a bit more of a pullback, complex pullback, towards the middle part of the week, I think. And we do certainly have some interesting data coming out tomorrow. So really, I'll talk about this more tomorrow in the pre-US. But overall, a positive morning for equities, holding on the sort of retracement highs from Friday. SPOO's Dow working back up. The Dow is coming on R1 to look at this bear flag that it did fall out of last Thursday. Really good trade here for the elite team to be on the shorts on the Dow last week, and they were certainly making hay on that. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens on a pullback to the R1 here. I suspect there is going to be decent resistance and trade down to meet the 20 EMA 35,747. Is all that going to happen in one session today? Possibly not. Possibly not today. Pretty quiet day on the slate. Oil, yeah, it's got a bit too much wrong with it at the moment. The looming threat of the U.S. Energy Administration to come out and say they're releasing X amount of barrels of oil out of the SPR, the Petroleum Reserve. Personally, I don't think they're going to be able to release enough to remedy this situation, but technically this is going to weigh on the market. I do think there is business undone on the downside here in oil, which is this sort of, actually have to load more days on the chart. It's like 60 days. This is a gap with unfilled potential, you could say here. So 77, 73s has not actually traded for the gap close since when was this? The 8th of October, right? So for me, technically, I think I think it's kind of interesting that the 50 EMA is confluent here with the 78.26, and I just do think there is a bit of business to be done on the downside here, and then we can start to pick up some more buyers on oil. But we have now a situation where we're getting increased lockdowns happening. Well, in Europe, certainly lockdowns for the unvaccinated in Austria, and I just think we're getting into a very tight situation now with the looming potential for further lockdowns around Europe to start off with. China as well, I think, have some lockdowns, or certainly across Asia. But yeah, I mean, oil has some headwinds for now, although flights are back. So gold, I think, further upside, I'd probably be looking at the long 1850 spot 8. If that doesn't really work out, I wouldn't really be interested in trading this until tomorrow. So not really much to look at today. More to check in tomorrow. And so with that, do uh, join me for this afternoon's session, and we'll be having a look at and see how these markets play out. Please do click and subscribe in YouTube. Get notified of whenever we go live or have new content coming up. And as always, keep your risk tight, and I'll see you